The pick is in.
With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, University of Miami. Let's bring in host of Locked on Titans, Tyler Rowland, to break that down. So, Tyler, Cam Ward, is he worthy of that first overall pick, or do you feel like he's just maybe the best QB in a weak draft class?
Well, I think both of those things are true. He is the best QB in a weak draft class, but I also do think he is worthy of the number one pick. Now, is Cam Ward the certified number one overall pick like Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence were when they came out? No, but have any of those quarterbacks won a Super Bowl? No, it's the quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, who was not drafted and wasn't the certified number one overall pick. So I think it's actually historically a better thing that Cam Ward isn't such a solid number one overall pick. But look, you watch the tape on Cam Ward, he has everything you want. He has a talented arm. He has the ability to throw from a bunch of different angles with his arm, and he has a generational knack for playmaking and creating out of structure, which is what all the top quarterbacks in the NFL do nowadays. So you take the on-field talent, you compare it or combine it with the off-field intangibles that Cam Ward brings to the table as a leader who's been to multiple schools and always endeared himself to his teammates in the program. He's a great person. He's a great player, and that makes him absolutely worthy of the number one overall pick.
And I love your optimism there, Tyler, but you're absolutely right. Both things can be true at the same time. Now,
Yes.
We have heard much chronicled, much talked about his questionable throwing mechanics and consistency. But for you, are those concerns? And if they are concerns, then do you feel like they can still be maybe addressed through development by the Titans?
Yeah, certainly. I think he can clean up the footwork, and that's going to lead to more accuracy. The feet and the upper body are obviously tied together. But I think overall for Cam Ward, it's just cleaning up the decision-making. He has that generational playmaking talent. But at the same time, he's made some very questionable decisions in college and put the ball in harm's way. I don't think it lacks at the NFL level. So the footwork and the accuracy, I think that'll come together because he's a hardworking guy. What I want to see improve is the decision-making and having the correct balance between, hey, I'm going to make the huge play and put on the Superman cape, and hey, I need to live to fight another day here. You got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. And that's the real development I want to see from Cam Ward at the next level.
Yeah, and you talked about it. He becomes the fourth number one overall pick the Titans head coach Brian Callahan has worked with in his career.
Yes.
Peyton Manning, Matt Stafford, and you mentioned the other one, Joe Burrow. So quite a class of number one draft picks that Brian Callahan has had to work with. Where do you think Cam Ward could potentially fit in as it relates to how successful these guys are? Because to your point, we're talking about multi-Super Bowl winner in Peyton Manning, Super Bowl winner in Matthew Stafford, and obviously Joe Burrow, who's gotten to the Super Bowl. And by any stretch, it's not a stretch to think that he could win one as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think it's a great level of experience for Brian Callahan, and things didn't go very well last year, but the Titans quarterback play was very, very poor. And I think Will Levis wasn't a fit for what Brian Callahan wants to do. Brian Callahan is a spread West Coast style offense. He wants to get the ball out quick. He wants to be on time. He wants to be accurate and precise. And all the things that you see Joe Burrow do in the Cincinnati Bengals offense. That's not Will Levis's game, but it is Cam Ward's game with his arm angles and his quick release. And he's so good in the short to intermediate areas of the field, especially over the middle of the field. He can kind of read the zones and fit the ball into tight windows. That fits perfectly with what the Titans want to do on offense. So I think from a schematic standpoint, the fit is absolutely fantastic. And then you add in that playmaking knack that Cam Ward brings to the table. It can take him to that next level of quarterback, which the Tennessee Titans have not had in quite some time.
Well, Tyler, you are hype. I am sure that there is a party going on somewhere in downtown Nashville.
It's always a party with me, Tenitra.
I know that. Now, you know what? I absolutely love it. I feel like we couldn't start this draft show off any better than with my guy, Tyler, because he always truly brings the energy, and a great day for anyone who's covering the Tennessee Titans. And speaking of that, for continuing coverage of the Tennessee Titans, be sure to subscribe to Locked on Titans wherever you get your podcast. Appreciate you stopping by, Tyler.
Of course.
For continuing coverage of the Tennessee Titans, subscribe to Locked on Titans wherever you get your podcasts. And for more on Cam Ward, let's hear from Locked on Canes host Alex Dono, who spent a lot of time covering Cam Ward up close.
Quarterback Cam Ward is expected to make both an immediate and lasting impact in the NFL. I am Alex Dono, host of Locked on Canes. Cam Ward at Miami in 2024 threw for over 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions, He set new school records in virtually every single season passing category at Miami, and it didn't happen by accident. Physically, Cam Ward can make every single throw. The arm talent is through the roof. There's not a window too tight for him to fit it into. He takes some chances, but that's when he produces some of his big plays. And the element that makes Cam Ward even extra special is his athleticism and also his instincts to extend plays, to get outside the pocket. He is physically very capable of running when he needs to. He's more of a pass-first quarterback, but he's got that in his bag as well. I think Ward is going to be a great one. For more on the Miami Hurricanes, check out Locked On Canes wherever you get your podcasts.